Hey guys, we're having spaghetti and meatballs tonight. Well, actually, cappellini and meatballs, and cappellini is angel hair. And I'm using angel hair tonight because it's really, my family really likes it. They like the long, thin strands as opposed to the thicker spaghetti or linguine or fettuccine. And it cooks really, really fast. It takes like 4 minutes. So it's a great alternative to spaghetti if you forgot to get the water going, or if your kids just like it, or if your family just likes that. So we're over here at the stove. I've already chopped up a shallot, 2 shallots actually, and 3 garlic cloves. And we're just going to get those going. We're going to saute those first, and then we'll let them cool a little bit, and then we'll assemble our meatballs, and we're going to bake our meatballs, which is really easy. It takes a lot of the mess out of the meatballs, and it takes a lot of work out of the meatballs as well. So if you didn't have shallots or you couldn't find a good shallot, just use an onion. I interchange onions and shallots all the time in my meatballs. So let's get going. Let me show you down at the stove, and then I will bring you over to the counter and we'll assemble our meatballs. But right now I have my pan going and it's nice and preheated. And this is only gonna take a few minutes, but I just like to kind of saute them first before I get them in the meat. Let me grab a wooden spoon. And let's get a little bit of salt in there. Salt helps them sweat, gets all the moisture out. Oopsie daisy. Little pepper. You know I love my black pepper. And I'm going to saute these for maybe 3 minutes or so until they get translucent, maybe a little more olive oil. Until they get nice and soft and translucent. And then I'm gonna add the garlic and I'll saute that for about 1 minute. And then I'll let this cool. And I will meet you at the counter. Hey guys, so let's get our turkey meatballs going. So first I have my garlic and my onions that were sauteed on the stove in a little bit of olive oil in my bowl here. And now we're going to add a few other ingredients. And this might come as a shock to people, but it's commonly used in meatballs. White bread. We're going to soak it in a little bit of milk, and that will make the meatballs really tender and moist. And we need that because we're using turkey breast. Now, a lot of times I have white, fresh breadcrumbs in the freezer, but I don't have any right now. If I did, I would just pop those in there, but this works perfectly too. So we're just gonna give the milk a little help in breaking down this bread. Chop it up just a little. Get rid of the crust. And we're going to add some milk. I love doing this. Your meatballs are going to seem a little moist, like a little wet. And you're gonna be thinking, did I do this right? But I promise you, you did. That will make them really, really, they'll come together while they cook, and it will make them really, really tender and like almost fall apart. You won't have golf balls. All right, so that's all crumbly and nice and good to go. And next we're going to add an egg to help it bind. And we'll just give that a little whisk. I like to get all the ingredients combined first before I add the turkey and get my hands all dirty, all chickeny. We're gonna add some salt, good pinch. Remember, we already seasoned the onions. Some pepper, you know I love my black pepper. Little drizzle of olive oil. You don't need a lot because of the milk. And I have some fresh thyme here. I mean, not fresh thyme, this is dry thyme. I'm just gonna crumble it up in my hands. And then I'm going to add some dried oregano. I had a friend gave me this. She dried it all herself. And some dried basil. We're going to add fresh basil on top when we plate it all together. And I have some fresh rosemary from my beautiful window garden that my sister gave me. Okay, let's get the little leaves taken off of the woody stems. You don't want to eat the woody stems. Just toss the woody stems. And it's really easy to do. I love rosemary. I love the smell of rosemary. It grows a lot around here. Our old house, we had so much wild rosemary that I would just go out when I cooked. I would just go outside and pick some from the plants outside. It was awesome. All right. So let's get that in there. And the star of the show, our ground turkey breast. 1 pound. Just plop that in there, and we're going to use our hands and make little balls. Okay, let's get our meatballs made. Sorry about that, my phone died for a second. So I have my meat all nice and mixed together, and I'll show you what it looks like. You can hold it together in a ball in your hand and it won't fall apart. And this is exactly the texture that we want. Can you guys see? Okay, so we're gonna make little balls about 2 inches in diameter. And I have a sheet pan here, a very large sheet pan, and it's lined with parchment paper and aluminum foil. Aluminum foil first and then parchment paper. And I'm just gonna get all of these made, and then I'm gonna drizzle them with olive oil. Maybe put a little bit of pepper on top, maybe not. But drizzle them with olive oil and stick them in my 425 preheated oven. And they'll take about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, and I'll show you what they look like when they come out.